Alright, this is my shit right here. This shit is crazy.
The evil genius scream.
The champ is here. The champ is here. D-Block, the champ is here. The champ is here.
Fucking with the champion.
You already know. AAD is the game goodbye.
All right, Straight Out the Mud podcast. This is episode 6, and it's your host CJ and Special K. Started off like the past few weeks where it been leading up to UFC 226, and it happened last week. But we was talking about what would happen, and he wound up winning. Daniel Cormier, he from Lafayette, Louisiana. So I just want to start out talking about the champ, Daniel Cormier, and put him in the GOAT discussion. There's a lot of speculation and stuff. He's only lost 2 fights in his career. One loss doesn't really count because Jones was busted dirty. Even the first fight, he kind of busted dirty. He busted cocaine the first fight, so he was coked up fighting Daniel Cormier. But that's the only person that has defeated Daniel Cormier, and everybody pretty much has. To be honest, I'll be honest, non-biased opinion, Jones, but Jones has never really lost. He got one loss, but that's from kicking somebody's ass too much.
Yeah, that didn't count.
He got disqualified. But he's tested dirty and shit. So we're going to kind of throw him out of there in the GOAT discussion. Who's the GOATs?
I mean, for me, it's always going to be Anderson Silva. It's going to be my number one.
Yeah, because in his prime, in Anderson Silva's prime, like just the eye test of, yeah, his record, he got losses and stuff. He stayed in the game too long. You stay in, you're going to get dirty or whatever. But just the best fight I've seen in his prime, like, you couldn't fuck with him.
Oh, yeah, you couldn't touch me.
Couldn't mess with him. I'm not cussing no more. That's my goal.
Yeah, he had a mystique about him, though. Like, he would beat you before you even stepped in the octagon. It's like he played a mind game with you, you know.
So, Anderson Silva, GSP, of course. GSP, he lost a few times, but everybody he lost to, he went back and avenged them losses. So he's never really, there's nobody that say they beat him and never got no ramifications or whatever. And
I mean, Randy Couture was one of mine, but Randy had a lot of losses. That's
I don't think he's a pioneer, but as far as the GOAT discussion,
nah, he's not gonna.
Let me see. Anderson Silva, GSP, John Jones. But I mean, John
Jones, the thing. Jones fucked his reputation up. That's what's fucking. He's fucking his legacy up. So,
Demetrius John. But the thing about him is just he don't have no competition.
No.
Like or is it just that he making them not look competitive because he wiping them out so bad?
Yeah, exactly.
But the only time I really seen him, like back in the days, but he was fighting out of his weight class. He was fighting 135, and Dominique Cruz kind of washed him. Yeah. But Dominique Cruz is like a foot taller than him, and probably outweighed him by like 15, 20 pounds by the time they did fight and stuff. So,
I mean, I think he should go in, man. I mean, he only has 2 losses. You think about
it. It's to only one person, and then he was forced to go down in weight class because he was undefeated at heavyweight.
Yeah.
Going at 205, he draining the hell out of his body and still was washing people except for John Jones, man. It's just.
I mean, you got to think about the fights he had too, being washed down. He had to fight Rumble twice. Rumble hit him and knocked him across the ring.
But in Rumble was a bad man.
And like for him to eat that shot and still finish the fight and finish him off, well, not finish him off, but win the fight, you know.
Well, he did finish him. He did finish Rumble.
He did finish him in the first.
He finished him.
Fight,
he
right?
finished him both fights.
Yeah, he
both
did.
fights.
Okay.
He real naked chokes.
And then he fought Gustafsson, didn't he?
Yeah, he whipped him.
He whipped Gustafsson, and Gustafsson is just as tall as Jones and has the reach. Same way with
he did his thing. He got a good resume. He washed Anderson Silva. Dan Henderson ragdolled him. Yeah. He beat Frank Mir. Stipe Miocic is the greatest heavyweight. I'm putting quotations in the air. The greatest heavyweight because he had the most title defenses.
Yeah.
Knocked him out the first round.
But let's be honest, Anderson caught him with a kick and he kept it to the ground after that.
But that's Anderson Silva, dog.
That's Anderson,
but he still washed him.
Yeah,
he still washed him. He got hurt one time in the fight, but see, he still let me
yeah, he said, let me keep this to the ground.
I don't blame him. Hey, Anderson Silva is a dog, man. Anderson Silva, he was on short notice and stuff. He was older, so he hasn't been the same since he broke his leg, man. To be honest,
yeah. So.
But he always gonna be like my favorite fighter. Just why I got into MMA and stuff. Well, why I got into MMA, I'ma say it was mostly Kimbo Slice was mostly Kimbo, Rampage Jackson.
I thought it was Never Back Down.
Yeah, that stuff right there. But like as far as like real fighting and stuff, like Rampage.
Rampage. I remember when Kimbo came, man. I don't know why. He was another one that he had this thing with the streets and stuff like that. So I thought he was gonna just come in and Mike Tyson everybody in the UFC.
Because I thought, but when that's kind of what kind of got me. Because it's like, man, but the MMA fighter beat him. Oh man, he whooped somebody. But then you see MMA fighters, you see somebody with discipline and everything. Like,
but he beat a few legit. I mean, they weren't.
But the people the people he did fight, like he was whooping a lot of them stand up. But then they start kicking his legs and then they take him to the ground. But just standing up, and Kimbo in his prime.
Oh yeah.
Man, they ain't want none of Kimbo with just hands. Speaking of Kimbo, they supposed to be making a Kimbo movie.
Oh, that's what's up. Who's gonna play the part?
Homeboy from Black Panther, the one that ooh.
Oh man, that's what's up.
So,
I watched it.
So he's supposed to be playing Kimbo. And while we on MMA, like Brock Lesnar, he's supposed to be fighting Daniel Cormier for the heavyweight title. So Daniel Cormier, he want to try to go out with a big money fight, and Brock Lesnar looked like a shadow. He looked like an eclipse on the side of Daniel Cormier. I still say Daniel Cormier gonna whip him, but
the reason I say Daniel gonna whip him because that's Kane's training partner. Kane made Brock look like he wasn't shit.
And Brock's biggest advantage over people is wrestling. He gets on people, he grounds and pounds them. You ain't about to just get on DC and ground and pound him like that. Anytime I've seen DC get taken down a few times, but he doesn't care about getting taken down. Because he get right back up like it ain't nothing. Whoever has taken him down, the only person had a little bit of control over him, like his first fight, but that was like his second fight at 205. Jones got on top of him in like the fourth round, and he was dead tired. Like now he doesn't get tired anymore.
I mean, yeah.
Like his cardio is out of this world.
And like we say, sometimes it's matchups make fights. It's all gonna depend on the matchup. But
it's gonna be I think it might be a little tougher. Brock is so damn big, man.
I know, man. But he gonna have to go down.
I would hope that Brock. The thing that might stop the fight is Brock might test dirty. I hope he wouldn't before the fight because I want to see this fight.
Yeah.
But it's possible that the fight might never happen because he might test pop.
And you know what's crazy? Dirty. We were talking about John Jones earlier. Doesn't this mirror everything that was gonna happen with John Jones?
Yeah, that was supposed to be his trajectory. He was gonna fight until his body could no longer fight 205, and he was gonna go up and become a heavyweight and this and that. Daniel Cormier took his dreams, and that's why I put him very high in the GOAT conversation. Because 2 weight classes, he's beat the who's who. He finished a lot of people, man. It's just, and then it brings up another conversation. Like, what is the perfect? Like that's the whole purpose of MMA. What is the perfect style and everything? And you know they have big, long, rangy guys, and they have big, brolic muscle guys. Like Daniel is kind of short, fat, but he's strong as man. Like what is the perfect? Like shit, if you a strong fat nigga with cardio and stuff, hey, it's hard because what somebody gonna do? Your body weight, you got a low sense of gravity. It's hard for somebody to take you down.
Exactly.
Somebody go to your body. Then you come, you got a big ass head, so you ain't about to really knock him out. It's hard.
And it's crazy because when you watch the Stipe fight, Stipe was landing some
Stipe
shots.
landed some stuff.
He eats shots, man. Like I say, when Rumble hit him, he ate that shit. Rumble shook him up, but he ate that shit and came right. Like he's not one of those people that just backs down when he gets hit, man. When he gets hit, it's like it wakes him up.
DC is he a man amongst boys, man.
Yeah,
And
man.
he from the country. He a country brother. He from right there from Lafayette, Louisiana. A country brother is a little different, and he's a competitor.
Yeah.
Like as far as when he was in wrestling and stuff like that, wrestling he was a dog in that. He in AKA Camp. AKA Camp that's Namiga Madoff.
And
That's
wasn't he the champion before UFC?
He was Strikeforce champ. He was Strikeforce Grand Prix champ.
Yeah.
And that's Grand Prix. They had Overeem in there. They had I can't think of the names.
Yeah, it's been so long ago.
Fedor Emelianenko was in there. Fedor Bigfoot Silva. A bunch of people, man. They had some giants, and he wound up. That was early in his career. He only had a handful of fights, and he wound up being the Grand Prix champion. He beat Josh Barnett. Josh Barnett was one of the best heavyweights of UFC. And then he moved on to Strikeforce because of contract issues. And he was in Strikeforce, and he was a dog. And Daniel Cormier, early in his career, beat Josh Barnett. Josh Barnett was a dog at the time. Mm-hmm. Like, if you don't know, if you aren't a big fan, but that's another MMA. I know a lot of people aren't in the MMA and stuff, but Summer League going on. Man, I hate to say it, but Summer League is showed me something. I'm a LeBron fan, but LeBron just went to the Lakers, man. Just today, I seen the Lakers playing. I was pulling for Hart. For Josh Hart, but he was balling.
Yeah, Josh Hart's cold, man.
I'm a Laker fan. I'm a Laker fan now.
Villanova.
It's till he leaves, till LeBron leaves. I guess I'm gonna be a Laker fan because I sure was pulling for the Laker summer league squad. But Josh Hart, he was cutting up.
Who's impressed you the most so far in summer league?
Josh Hart is one of them. He been cutting up. I didn't see too much of DeAndre Ayton.
Ayton's doing good. He's averaging about 20.
But he didn't play a lot. Like a lot of them, the great cats, they played just a little bit. Or what you call finally showed me a little something. Trey Young, his first 5 games he was averaging 11. The last 2 games he was averaging 23. But then they pulled him out. Yeah. Now he's not playing anymore. Trying to think of
Wendell Carter's looking real good.
Wendell Carter,
defensively and offensively. Old boy from Orlando, Bamba, he's
Mo Bamba.
The cat that went to Philly, but they traded him. He's looking.
Miles Bridges.
Miles Bridges looking so.
They got. I'm trying to think of who. That little foreigner for the 76ers. He got a crazy name, but he had bust 40. He had 19 the other day. He hit a game winner. Damn. So he a shooter. He looking good.
I missed the last 3 days of summer league, so I'm kind of.
You know who's impressing me for the Knicks? Knox.
Yeah.
Knox is looking good. That boy athletic, man.
And old boy from San Antonio is looking pretty good.
Yeah, with the nappy hair.
I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name, but he's looking impressive too.
Man, I think LA is gonna have a decent team. The team that they're building, I understand they talk about the concept of defense, but I still don't think that's a team that can beat.
But a lot of people, man, Golden State is just some Titans. Yeah. But I see what they're doing, and I'm kind of liking it, man, because it's different than how Cleveland was set up. It's like the specialists and stuff, and not looking close at it. And if how Josh Hart has progressed this year, just he was that's why I watched Dennis Smith Jr. play summer league, and this is second year. I haven't seen too much progression. To me, I think Dennis Smith, if you play summer league, you should dominate.
Exactly.
Josh Hart, he wasn't a special rookie. Man, I seen him in summer league this year, and he dominated. That's how you supposed to grow. And
he's playing the point in summer league, right?
I don't know. He just running the show, but he cutting up. He shooting the ball. He going to the rack. And I'm not saying he's going to do that in the NBA regular season. But if he can create just a little bit of his shots, he's going to be 4th, 5th, 6th option. Yeah. So if he can do that at the 6th option, then they got, if Ingram grows, if he grows like Josh Hart has, it gets a little bit better. if Ball gets a little bit better,
But
Kuzma gets a little bit better, they're
Ingram-
gonna have a squad.
Ingram had a good season though.
Yeah, man, and then they're gonna have LeBron, so he gonna have all that.
Yeah.
So he gonna be taking the double teams and stuff. They're gonna have one-on-one matchups.
Exactly, and Kuzma, knockdown shooter.
Yeah.
I think
They're gonna have size too. They're gonna have a long range team. Ball's like 6'7" point guard.
6'7".
Kuzma and them is all. Everybody's over 6'7" pretty much.
I think Ball would have benefited from playing summer league again though, because he
got a torn meniscus.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
then, they leaked that out for them not to trade him. Well, that's part of what they say. And whatchamacallhim at the Shaq and the Fool, but him, if he can play similar to how he played Golden State, if he can stay in the back and block shots and just be athletic, and not just be a damn fool, he can be a good. And Rondo coming, if Rondo come.
You got to take the good with the bad with JaVale.
Yeah.
JaVale gonna give you the defense and the hustle, but he gonna do some dumb shit.
Exactly. And Stevenson competes. He's a
defender, a playmaker.
He's a damn fool, but he plays.
He plays. He attacks. I like him. I think the Lakers they're gonna be decent. My biggest
I
question.
think they're gonna look a little better than people. Well, I ain't gonna say better than people expect because the Vegas eyes have them number 2 for title hopes.
Yeah, LeBron does that, but I think the biggest question marks on that team is gonna be Lonzo Ball for me. He's just I don't know, man. He's gonna have to, like his dad's gonna have to quit being a distraction. That's the biggest thing, I think.
Oh, and I want to give props to everybody in some league. They had a player I forgot. Colin Sexton been looking good too.
Colin
Sexton, that boy for Cleveland. It seems like that happens with LeBron, and when he goes on teams, like he'll run certain people away, and then they'll be balling. Like he ran Wiggins away. He like, I don't want to play with Wiggins. That young boy was cutting up. I think Sexton is gonna be a cat. Sexton's gonna be a star, man.
But that was what I thought Cleveland needed, was a long perimeter player with Wiggins that could defend, because that's what the league is now.
But then at the time he was young, and it was Wiggins or Kevin Love, and Kevin Love, he had his ups and downs, but he did deliver. He did help deliver a ring.
Yeah.
So you don't know what would have happened if they would have kept Wiggins and his growth, because he looked like he was plateaued.
Yeah.
Look like he's plateaued right now in Minnesota. I don't know if he's just unhappy, but he's not looking too good.
Yeah, he's not.
Jimmy Butler wants to leave from there. They offered him like $100-something million extension. He turned it down. He trying to get out of there.
I wish he'd have stayed in Chicago. I like Butler.
Speaking of Chicago, Jabari Parker went to Chicago. I think Jabari Parker has, if he can stay healthy, and he needs to get his body together. He has a dad bod for a young cat.
Yeah, man, he needs to get in shape.
But he has all the tools. All the tools, dog. He has a chance to be something special if he can stay healthy.
The little bit that he's played, he's impressed me.
Whenever he plays,
he impresses me. I think him, Wendell Carter, Zach LaVine.
They got some young bulls. They got some young bulls down there. They got Holiday. I think they, like Wendell. I'm not gonna lie. Out of everybody we talked about in summer league, he's the one that impressed me the most as a big man, because you think about it, this kind of been the year of the big men for rookies. He's doing good, but I think DeAndre Ayton gonna be a man amongst men.
DeAndre Ayton, man, I watched him. He's decent, but he depends on that mid range. I noticed that if that mid range not falling, I seen
him a lot. Like in summer league, what I seen him do, I just seen him block people and catch lobs. But what's gonna take a lot of pressure off him is he gonna be up there. He gonna be right there with Booker, and Booker is a star.
Yeah, Booker is a star.
So if him and Booker gonna be in the pick and roll, that's gonna be something. Something special.
Are they gonna let Booker run the point, because Peyton's gone from there now, and they ran an experiment with him before?
I don't know about him being a point guard and stuff. Yeah, we were talking about the Bulls and stuff. Had to pause for a second. We're talking about the Bulls. Isaiah Thomas too. Isaiah Thomas, man, that has been one of the saddest stories in the league, man. He went to Denver for 1 year, $2 million, man. And I watched something the other day, like on YouTube. You know how they show like certain people what happened to them and what that.
Yeah.
Like it's messed up, because he was up for $100-something million extension with the Boston and stuff. He wound up pushing. He pushed his negotiations and stuff back a few times for them to be able to sign people, like for them to be able to sign Gordon and do stuff and not sign, and they shipped him out. Then he went to Cleveland, and he was supposed to be Kyrie Irving's replacement. That didn't gel.
Yeah, the experiment didn't work.
That didn't work. Then he went to the Lakers. He had a positive year till he got hurt. Well, till he went to have his surgery. But then LeBron wound up going. I think the Lakers would have re-signed him. But then LeBron went there,
yeah.
And they had such a bad chemistry. It's like, nah, we can't put them together. So, man, nobody wanted him in the free agent market. Like, I don't know why. You know how the CBA and stuff, they've been like, man, they have so much more money. It don't seem like they have a lot of money because a lot of people, even the old boy for the Rockets, like, he waiting. He can't. At a time, like, everybody was getting super big deals. Now, it seemed like
Clint Capella, I think for defense and stuff he brings in a hustle, he's $100-something million. But I don't think Houston's gonna give him that type.
I don't think he's a $100 million brother. He can't put it on. He can't make a play for himself and stuff. And then he came up small against Golden State, man. A lot of times where he would catch them lobs or be in those situations, like he wouldn't finish around the rack, like he was acting like he was scared. Because the moment is big, it's hard for you to say what you would do in certain events. And
now the thing with Isaiah, I'm not gonna say he's in a good situation, but he's on a young team.
And the bad thing is, like, he in a situation where
they got two good guards.
But it's like you can prove yourself, and then try to get a deal. But he's getting older, man. He's getting 30. He up to 30 years old. He's probably gonna be coming off the bench. I think Denver has a chance. They were like the number 9 seed. Yeah, they have a chance because they have their dude they signed again. The big foreigner. Jarek is Nurkic or whatever. So they got him.
Nurkic is Portland.
Oh yeah. But they got a home ball for there.
Yeah.
And you notice something with Denver. Well, it's just 2 players. Like, it's kind of experimenting because they got Michael Porter. Like, they picked him. They don't know what he gonna be because he was like kind of unhealthy. Like, they got Isaiah Thomas. They like, well, we're gonna see what he's gonna be. So it's like they kind of gambling a little bit, but it's.
But I mean, they got 2 good guards in Murray and what's the other one's name?
I don't know. I ain't keep up with Denver, but I know they had their 2 guards. But I would like for Isaiah to crack the starting lineup. I wish he can kind of get to his old self in Boston. Like, if he could get to like 23 points a game or something, then he was averaging 29. Man, he was number 3 in the MVP voting.
I know,
man. That year. So man, just that fall from grace is
And Danny Ainge, he's known for stuff like that. Like, you think he's gonna try to keep Kyrie?
And I don't know about that.
Because Kyrie, they talking about Kyrie in New York.
Yeah, because Kyrie might want to go somewhere, man. But I think Tatum is gonna be a superstar.
Oh,
Tatum is going to be a star, dog.
Tatum is something special, man.
Tatum is special. But Boston has talent, man. They are a good lineup, man. If they can add something else, but man, they're gonna have Kyrie and Gordon this year, so that's a lot to add, man. They're gonna be cold.
I'm thinking, man, with all those pieces they got, you think they're gonna have to trade somebody though? Like,
eventually,
Brown or
I think one to leave probably will be Kyrie. I don't know, man. Kyrie just seems like he just wants something to himself. Like, I'm the man by myself.
But that was crazy. Like, because I think he still could have played at the end of the season into the playoffs, right? He didn't. Was it a demanding surgery that he needed?
I don't know. Like, he had that screw in his knee, and I think he was like infected or something. He had to redo it. Yeah, I don't know exactly.
Because the way they were talking, I remember, was like it wasn't like really necessary, but then it was necessary. I don't know. So
I don't know. Kyrie's just a weird dude, man.
And then he didn't go to the game 7.
Yeah, they say he had a deviated septum. He had nose surgery or something. Like, you have that on game 7. Like, I don't know. Kyrie's just. He's a weird dude all the way around. Like, I don't know what to say about him. Like, but he's an incredible talent. Like, I love watching Kyrie play. Like, I wish Cleveland could have kept him and Lebron could have stayed together.
Yeah, Kyrie is something special, man. But it's like I said, he one of them flat earth people too. So he weird, man.
Dwight Howard signed his deal and stuff.
Who he signed with again?
He wound up going to the Wizards.
Yeah, he went to the Wizards.
So he gonna be with John Wall and them. He got He got
traded
traded to the Nets, but then they bought him out, and then the Wizards picked him up.
I don't know, man. He hurts teams to me more than he helps.
He just a character or something. He just doesn't take the game seriously. To me, it just, I don't know if that rubs people the wrong way. He has talent. He has talent. He got a body of Zeus.
Yeah.
He should be out there brolicking, killing people, but he just, I don't know. He just don't have that killer in him or something. I don't know.
I think his best years was Orlando, man. I think.
Yeah, then the game has changed so much. It's not a big man's game anymore. You got to be able to stretch the floor, be able to go to pick and roll and do certain things. And he doesn't have any outside shot, and he never was the best post player.
No, he was more of a screen, roll off the screen, catch the ass.
Catch a lob, or if a double team comes, have a bunch of 3-point shooters around him. But
yeah, so I mean, but he still can give you 20 and 20 some nights, cause
some nights, but as far as like consistently, like he averaging like about 16, maybe 16 and 10 type player.
Yeah,
he should be a 26 and 17 player or something.
Yeah,
Shit, up in Dennis Rodman upper ages. When Bulls won the last championship, Dennis Rodman was like 36, was averaging like 17 rebounds a game.
Shit,
So,
man. And it's just one of those things, man, where like it was a fall from grace. Cause I remember when he went to the Lakers, I didn't even want him, man. I rather bind him. I remember that, and it
was a good thing buying him, because buying him knees was buying him. That was one of the biggest robberies in sports history. He got a max contract from the 76ers. I don't think he ever played a game in the Sixers.
Did he get all that money too?
Oh yeah, this the NBA. The NBA, you get all your money. That's like Grant Hill got hurt. Grant Hill got all his money.
Yeah, shit. But at least Grant Hill tried to play.
Speaking of old players, Big 3 basketball, Big 3 season 2. Big 3 is actually pretty good, man.
Oh, I had told you that after the first 2 games I watched, man.
Man, Big 3 is actually pretty good, man. Hey, I think what really got me to watching is Nate Robinson going there.
Yeah, Nate Robinson is a dog, man.
But Nate Robinson played against, what you call him the other day, he played against Mahmoud Raouf. He was still giving Nate Robinson the business.
I was enjoying it though. It looked like an old street ball pickup game.
Man, that old cat could shoot. They rushed him out of the league because they Colin Kaepernicked him because he didn't want to stand for the national anthem. He sat on the bench way back in them days. Then they pushed him out of the league. Mm-hmm. So they did him like Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick, I don't think we're ever gonna see him play ball again. But you see him in the Big 3, and he is pushing 50. And he's giving them the business.
And he still got beautiful stroke, man.
Pause. and he's a little bitty dude.
What is he, about 5'11", man?
Maybe it's because he's not that much taller than Nate Robinson.
Yeah, man. But I ain't gonna lie, I was enjoying him and Nate, man. I'm enjoying everything. I remember I was clowning with.
And it's kind of like old school basketball. Like if you like the old physical game, because they beef with the refs a lot. Oh, like I seen World Be Free. Well, that World wasn't that his World Peace. Meta World Peace. He kicked the ball into the stands and stuff like, and he got ejected. Nate Robinson got ejected. Like a lot of them, they be battling because the refs don't give you too many calls.
No, man, it's old school basketball. It's fun, man. Because I remember I was clowning with you. I was like, man, Kmart looked like he still got his body and shit. I said I will never see him dunk. And then right after I said that, man, he came in and
it's like, man, people still have ability. But it's hard, like NBA, like you wanna, like young people, man, them people washed up. Nah, they ain't washed up. They'll go to the court and give you the business. But it's just
got a lot of mileage, man.
But it's just 82 games, man. Yeah, you can still have talent, but can you have 82 game talent? That is a whole different animal. That's like Melo, Hoodie Melo in the summertime. Hoodie Melo be wrecking on people, but when you put him in an 82 game situation, I don't think Melo body is at a point he has to train his body like LeBron. Like Melo look like he get more out of shape during the season.
I know, man, because every time the season starts off, man, he's kind of thin, looking good, and then as the season goes on, it looks like he's just getting fatter and fatter.
Yeah, man, I don't know what it is.
He's still one of my favorite players. Like we were talking last week on the podcast. Look up some old Melo,
Oh yeah, Melo.
Yeah, old Melo, man.
Melo was.
Y'all would see the killer he was. Man, but going back to the Big 3, man, what you think they need to bring it to that next level, though, man? Do they need another old school star that was like a superstar in the NBA, like Paul Pierce or Kevin Garnett or something like that?
Paul Pierce don't have too much in the if Paul Pierce go in there, they gonna wash him.
You think so? Because I thought Chauncey Billups, I was like, man, they gonna wash Chauncey Billups. Man,
I think Chauncey still had a little bit, but some of them cats is like some of them cats is like in their 30s or something. They just got out of the league for certain situations. Something they don't have to. Like some of them people not that old.
I know.
Like Nate Robinson, not an old player.
What he like 32?
He like 32, but they just kind of like blackballed him and stuff. Like he got an attitude, and so a lot of people is just like attitude things and people, but they still got a lot of game. Like Paul Pierce, I think he left everything out. That's like Allen Iverson. Like Allen Iverson is probably the best player to ever touch the big three. But at a time, like he left everything in the league.
I mean, and that's the thing I'm saying. Like we were talking about that like you notice the best players are like the Rashad McCanses, the cats,
Corey McGetty and stuff, and
yeah, it was the cats that didn't put a lot of wear and tear on their body in the league, like the Allen Iversons, the Paul Pierce. Like people talking about.
See, Birdman is looking good.
Oh, Birdman looks amazing over there. Birdman looked like he playing like when he was playing for the New Orleans Pelicans. Oh, I mean the Denver Nuggets, man.
I think his best days with Miami Heat.
Probably so, Miami Heat.
See, he got a ring. He got a ring or two.
But I think yeah. Like people talking about Kobe should go. I wouldn't want to see my boy go there. I think Kobe one of them like we see.
Kobe need to come out of retirement and play with LeBron.
Hell no. Kobe, stay your ass home, man. Your legacy fine. Where is it? Nah, don't play with LeBron, man.
Yeah, I don't know if Kobe see Kobe in Big Three. I would like to see it if I think Kobe would.
I think he would bring the fans.
I think he would be a little too competitive if his body can get kind of in a decent shape. Kobe would be in there like wanting to kill people.
Man,
like,
you think it'll blow up to the point to where it gets like the 2K love, the video games and stuff like that?
They might could have like an NBA Street type game, thing. Big Three, but not like a serious game or something. But then it'll be hard to make a Big Three because like a lot of players are old, so it's like next season they might be done.
You might not have, but. I mean, you look at what they're doing. They're doing kind of like the NBA with the youth programs and stuff like that. Like they have the Big Three youth.
But they don't need a lot of promotion and stuff because a lot of them players, they are established. As far as like something that needs to be pushed, the WNBA needs to be pushed. They the ones that need some help. Like them ladies are incredible, man. But I think they have a lot of obstacles because they don't have dunking and stuff. A lot of people are just into that. I think certain people are biased of them because there's like. Some people probably feel like there's a lack of sex appeal. I hate to say it, but when women's sports and stuff, they always like people watch women's volleyball because they have these shorts in their ass and stuff.
Well, I was telling that to my homeboy a while back. I said I know it's gonna sound kind of sleazy of me, but I said I think they need to kind of make them change their image a little bit and look a little more girly. But that's hard to tell women to do. Yeah,
they have a lot of women that's not girly women. In the league. Maybe they should. I don't want to. That's kind of too sexist to say like if someone wear high shorts, can they do that? Or some people can style their uniforms the way they want. I don't know if that would help or not. But it'll bring purrs to the league. But
they had the female. She does the 2K TV. And she wants the women to wear a shorter short. She said they should. But
a lot of people like a Brittany Griner ain't gonna want to do no shit like that, and that's not gonna really make Brittany Griner look any better to certain people. And I think a lot of it has to do with I don't want to sound like ignorant or anything, but this is just a fact. I think some fathers and stuff like that, they don't want to bring their daughters. As a lot of the WNBA constituent are lesbians, and I think like certain people are kind of like prejudiced and be like, I don't want my child to be into that, and they're gonna be.
I mean, that can be the case, but we're at a time now where
But I think certain people still think like that because I had a homeboy. I'm not gonna say any names, but he like, man, I want my girl to play basketball because they nothing but like dykes, and I don't want my daughter to. And
Yeah, but he old country bred, you
But
know, man.
Shit, but
Yeah.
you look at USA, Trump got elected because of country motherfuckers.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, that's my second cuss word. I'm trying not to cuss.
True, and I wanted to touch on him, but I don't want to really because of the stuff with NATO and stuff like that. Did you hear about all that stuff, man? How he's pissing people off in Europe?
He's been pissing people off forever. But I see like in I guess England or something. I see they had like a orange balloon or something. They were protesting over there. I don't know exactly for what.
I don't remember. But one of them, they're the prime minister there and they're Muslim, and he said something about Europe is losing their culture. And I mean, how much more racist can you be, man? And saying
what
stuff
he
like
knows about culture.
Exactly, man. And he's talking about like America is apple pie and baseball, but if you ask another person what America is, it's basketball and sweet potato pie, or you know,
Shit.
America's everything.
America is slavery and debauchery and
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, it's one of those things like, man, what is and culture changes. Culture's supposed to change over time. Like what?
In America, what America is supposed to be is inclusivity.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be a melting pot. America is supposed to be a gumbo of people.
People, yeah.
Everybody
people.
has came from somewhere else. America was just a blank canvas, and they had a few little pieces with the Indians and stuff, but everybody was supposed to come over here and put their little dabs. Now it's like Trump is like, no, it's just us. Your wife is from somewhere else. Your mother was an immigrant.
Exactly.
So you trying to run people off and stuff like but he doing that to appease the country ass people that his base.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it's just one of those things. Like I don't want to touch on it too long, but it rubbed me the wrong way, especially me being a real patriot in my eyes, serving for my country, going overseas. He's never done those things. So I've been all over the world. I've been around different cultures and things like that. And you see things from the past, from past culture to their culture now. And if you ever notice, when it comes to culture, culture is always advancing. So how can you say stuff like that, you know, and not say you're not racist or, you know, I don't understand that, man.
Yeah, Trump is just there's not too many things nice to say. There isn't nothing nice to say about him.
No,
nothing surprises me at this point. That's a sad thing to say. Like I see him do stuff and I just be like, oh, that's Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like The Rock said the other day. He says he's not mad. I'm not mad at him. I'm just disappointed in him, and I agree completely with him. I'm very disappointed in him because at the end of the day, he's the president. I do not want him to fail because his failure reflects on us and it affects us. So I want this man to succeed, even though I do not like him that much, even though I don't care for him. I want him to succeed so this country can succeed.
And then certain people hate to give props where they do, but they talk about the economy and stuff. A lot of that is coming from Obama's reign.
Exactly.
Like you still on Obama stuff like that. It's a trickle down effect.
Exactly. That's why a lot of people talked about what Clinton did, but to be honest, a lot of that was some of Bush's doing, the Bush Senior, and Clinton stuff ended up going into Bush Junior, I guess.
Yeah. So
and so. I mean, it's just one of those things where, like, you can't take credit. You're not gonna see any changes until probably 3 or 4 years later.
When you see Trump stuff, and then
so
whether he gets elected or not, if he doesn't get elected again, the next person up gonna have to try and clean up all his messes,
exactly,
or whatever.
You know, if he doesn't get elected again, that'll be the first president in how many years that didn't get elected twice. Because Bush got elected twice, Clinton got elected twice, and Obama got elected twice.
Yep. So, and it's most probably because they don't really have anybody to put against him. Like I seen him say something about Bernie wants to run it, but Bernie is so old at this time. Yeah. Like the first time would have been the best time, but now it's like,
Yeah, man. But
I would vote for him, but I don't know if he would make it through his term.
But I mean, shit, this bastard.
I'm gonna vote for anybody over Trump.
This bastard almost, what? He's 71, 72. So this bastard's old right here.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
and he eating McDonald's every day.
yeah. So I'm not wishing no bad on him or nothing, but
Nah. Speaking of deaths, we can get out of Steve Ditko has died. And if you don't know who Steve Ditko is, like he was a co-creator of some of your favorite Marvel heroes. He co-created Spider-Man. That's like one of his greatest achievements.
He created Squirrel Girl. He created for DC that weird dude. What's his name? With where he had the Creeper. He created the Creeper. I mean, he created a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Man.
So rest in peace to him. And speaking of Marvel, like Cloak and Dagger. Like that's a good show. I'm really liking Cloak and Dagger, like taking place in New Orleans and stuff.
I'm loving it. I'm 2 episodes behind right now, but from what I've watched so far, man, Marvel's knocking everything out the park right now, man. I'm hoping Iron Fist when it comes, they do.
Yeah, I'm hoping that. But Cloak and Dagger is. Yeah. I still wanted to get to the point where Cloak gets his powers a little more. He still doesn't really have too much control over his stuff, and he doesn't have his cloak yet. But Dagger, she has her powers on lock. Like she knows her stuff now.
I think once he gets his stuff though, he's gonna be the colder out the two. He's gonna be the most powerful.
Yeah, he gonna be extra powerful. And I wonder how they're gonna do it, because like his cloak is kind of like Spawn's cape, kind of like it kind of has like a movement
to it and a flow. I mean, the effects in the show look good so far. I mean,
yeah, because they don't do nothing too special.
No. So I think they could just do something with the cape to where it doesn't have to be that long. Maybe like
and they showed the cloak, but it just hasn't showed it in action. But I like the actors on there, the little dude and the female character. It's pretty good cast.
Speaking of Spawn, did you know old boy that plays Hawkeye just signed on to play Twitch?
Jeremy Renner.
He signed on to play Twitch.
But the thing I don't like about it is because Tom McFarlane is saying that Spawn is gonna be like starring Jeremy Renner, like it's gonna be mostly about Twitch. Like Spawn isn't gonna say anything. Like you're gonna have Jamie Foxx playing Spawn, he's not gonna have any dialogue in the movie.
That's what I'm kind of scared of with him directing. Like I think he's gonna have things to say, but I think what they're saying is Al Simmons stuff is gonna be flashbacks, and when it's Spawn's not gonna say anything. So Jamie Foxx is just gonna play the role as showing his flashbacks. He's gonna show his military experience and things like that.
Yeah, so I hope they put it together well. But as far as like Todd McFarlane, he said that he's kind of gearing it up for Jamie Foxx to be able to play Spawn for like the next 20 years or something. So I think they have like plans for it to become a franchise, but it depends on the success of the first one.
Yeah, and that's hard. Like that's one of the things I was saying about Hollywood right now. It's a copy and paste type situation. Marvel's the only person that's shown they could do that successful right now. Just come out with your first movie and then decide after that. See what your first movie does and then plan.
Yeah, speaking of first movies, you say Aquaman is coming.
Aquaman's coming.
Because I think the Comic-Con's
about to. I think it's either next week coming or I'm not sure. I gotta look again. But Comic-Con's right around the corner, and I mean they're gonna show some stuff. We're gonna see one WW 84, Wonder Woman 84. We're gonna see Shazam. Marvel's not going this year, but we're gonna see like Venom. I think Marvel's they don't want to show anything because they got us hook line.
DC wants to steal their ideas because they try to get their cinematic universe together, and they fail every chance they get.
But I think Marvel just realizes they got us hook, line, and sinker right now.
They big ace in the hole is Avengers or 4 or whatever.
Yeah, so they don't want to show nothing.
We that's all we worried about. Like we would watch Ant-Man and Wasp, and it's like I just want to see what pertains to Avengers.
Exactly. I mean, it was a good movie, but
yeah, but
at the end of the day,
you want to see Avengers, man.
Yeah, you want to see Avengers. So what you thinking? Is gonna be DC's biggest thing? I'm thinking Wonder Woman 84 because of how good it did with the first one. I think that's gonna be the movie.
Man, they ace in the hole, but they ruined it. It's Batman.
It's Batman.
Batman is the ace in the hole, dog, and they messed that up.
Superman 2, if they do him right, you can't have, like, the reason the movie did so bad was because I was sitting in the movie theater. Old boy walked out when he saw Superman. They had a dude was sitting in the front row. When he saw Superman pop Zod's neck, he got up and left. That's how mad he was. And like you have the number 1 and the number 2 biggest character of all time.
Superman is just hard because he doesn't have an adversary. Man, it is,
but he does have a good rogues gallery. They just don't ever. They got Brainiac. Why they still have not used Brainiac? To
Darkseid.
But Darkseid is more Justice League. But he can be with Superman too. I mean, he has Metallo. He has I can't think of the dude's name. The half cyborg, half Superman. I can't think of his name. What is it? Cyborg Superman?
I guess
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know his name.
He has a good rogues. They just don't use
Bizarro Superman.
Bizarro. All we get is Lex Luthor and Kryptonite each time.
I don't know too much of it. Well, I read a little bit of Superman, but I'm not. But Spider-Man. Speaking of Spider-Man,
Spider-Man was amazing.
They have redid like the Spider-Man. Yeah, we into our comic book shit.
Yeah.
So I had to cuss again. We into our comic book stuff. So you can tune in or you can fast forward or whatever. But this comic book talk right here, I will give you talk for the thugs and talk for the intelligent, and I'm gonna give you every kind of talk. But we in the comic. We in our comic book stuff right now. And as far as like y'all like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it comes from somewhere in the comic books or the tapestry.
Yeah, I mean that's where everything. When you watch these movies like Captain America: Civil War, it came from a comic book called Civil War. When you read Age of Ultron, it came from a comic book called Age of Ultron.
And so, who was the one writing Spider-Man all the past 10 years or whatever?
It was Dan Slott.
Yeah, Dan Slott. So Dan Slott has left. He's gonna be doing like Iron Man. I think Fantastic Four and stuff too. But well, I'm just happy Fantastic Four is coming back.
Yeah, me too.
But Spider-Man, he's going back to the status quo. He did a lot. We can't say it all in this podcast. Like we probably have to do a separate podcast just for all the changes that has been made to Spider-Man. But Spider-Man he lost Mary Jane and his life went upside down. Dr. Octopus stole his body. He got his body back from Dr. Octopus and this and that and blah blah blah.
Ended up with Parker Industries, was one of the richest CEOs.
He was one of the richest people, and then now he's broke again. But they're gonna try to go back to the status quo. In one of the biggest staples in Spider-Man universe for like the past 30 years before Slott came on was Mary Jane. So they broke them apart, but they're getting them back together. So I think it's gonna bring back some of the old feel of Spider-Man. Hopefully.
Well, Nick Spencer, he's the writer on the book, and I think what he's talking about. I read his letter page, and he wants to bring it back to kind of the status quo of the Spider-Man didn't it feel more like Spider-Man in that comic book?
It was heartbreaking. It was all the negatives in the world, like everything that he had been doing in his life all fell apart in the latest comic book. But to lead up to the end, the light at the end of the tunnel, and that wound up being Mary Jane. Yeah. So would you go through hell to get your boo? So he didn't go through hell to get her, but it gave him the realization to go and like pull his heart out to her and tell her, and it finally metastasized or whatever.
Now the artwork. What did you think of the artwork? Mike Otley's artwork.
I didn't care for it too much. I didn't like it. It looked too like computerized or whatever. Like in the back of the book, like they had like a backstory or whatever, and there was the person that had been drawing it. Like I like their artwork more. I like the person that was doing like spectacular, Superior Spider-Man and stuff.
I like Mike Otley. I know you didn't read the Invincible.
I like Humberto Ramos or whatever. I think that's one of my favorite. On the recent run of Spider-Man's, Humberto Ramos is one of my favorites.
Yeah, Mike Otley, he drew. I know you didn't read it, Invincible. That was an Image comic, kind of like Walking Dead writer Robert Kirkman. That was his brainchild, and it was kind of like Superman meets Peter Parker, and he has like the powers of Superman, but the life of Peter Parker and stuff like that. So it was a pretty good comic. But yeah, I like his artwork. I think it's gonna take a little time for it to grow on you. But I was looking at like his character models, and like he had like his character models were out of date. Like Captain America was in his old uniform, and had the wings on the side popping out. And,
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So, but I'm just happy it's going back to the status quo. What about what else you been reading right now, man?
See, I read what I read. I'm trying to keep up with Wolverine saga. They got a bunch of old man Logan, but then they got the Search for Wolverine.
Yeah,
so our status quo Wolverine, he's kind of back, but they searching for him. They can't find him yet, so they're gonna bring back the younger Wolverine. I can't wait till they finally do that. The X-Men, I'm reading that, but they have so many X-Men books. The Avengers book is pretty good.
Yeah.
I like Iron Man book. I like Iron Man.
Who's writing Iron Man right now? Dan Slott? Oh, he's about to start.
I think he's just starting up. I think they had like 1 or 2 books so far in the Slott era.
Oh, okay.
But that Ironheart, I like Iron, but her book is kind of like tied in with Iron Man right now.
You know what I read that I kind of like?
Walking Dead. But where Walking Dead is, the book is they running out of stories to tell.
Yeah, I think
they running out of stories.
I think he's gonna shut it down soon. But you know what I kind of like, man? It's gonna sound crazy to you. I've been reading Miss Marvel, man. It reminds me a lot of like the younger Spider-Man a little bit. Her stories and stuff like that. I know you don't read it.
Nah, I ain't read Miss Marvel.
But she kind of has the powers like Mr. Fantastic. Yeah,
Thor's book is all right, but I want him to get Mjolnir.
Yeah,
God damn it! They took his hammer away. Give him Stormbreaker or something. Give him now he has like an endless supply of hammers, but none of them are super powerful. Like they have like one in one of the last books they doing something. It's gonna be like a big event is gonna be coming in the Thor universe, but they was fighting some kind of villain. He was like, bring her. He calls up to like the heavens or whatever, and the hammers drop. So he had like a bomb hammer, and a hammer came and exploded stuff. It's like he got a hammer. It's like a Batman gallery. Like Batman has his gadgets. Like he has a hammers for every situation. I think that is so whack. That is whack.
Speaking of Batman, we had the big wedding finally happen.
But man, I don't know if they got married because they both jumped off buildings. They both went their separate ways. They've been leading up for them to get married, and it just doesn't look like it's happening.
I just, man, it was heartbreaking, but it was more heartbreaking when he was talking with Alfred. I almost shed a tear when I was. Yeah,
that was a good moment because Alfred was kind of flattered, like I'm your
best man.
The best man or whatever.
I thought it was gonna be Nightwing personally, but I was shocked it was.
But he was like you'll do. It been me and you all this time, and it's gonna always be me and you. So that was a great moment. Yeah, they had a lot of good moments in the comic books lately, man. Like whenever Spider-Man finally had beat the new Green Goblin, Carnage.
Yeah, Red Goblin.
In Spectacular Spider-Man. Well, Slott's last book, that was a good read.
Yeah,
that was a good emotional book.
When the niece said, "What does he do?" And he said he saves somebody's life every
day. He saves somebody's world. They like Thor and them save the world. Spider-Man, he just saves certain people, but yeah, he saves your aunt, your uncle, your in the person in the story was named Uncle like Ren Vin or something like Uncle Ben, so it was like Uncle Van.
I think it was Van, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so he's like every time he saves somebody, he's saving somebody's world because he lost his world kind of whenever he lost Uncle Ben. That is his biggest motivation. So every day he's saving somebody's Uncle Ben.
Exactly.
So that was a beautiful story that Dan Slott he went out with a good one.
Like we don't hate Dan Slott, but Dan Slott had
he did a lot of bull. He shook things up a lot.
Like Spider-Man Big Time was good. Spider Island was good.
But certain things he did, like Spider-Man Big Time or something, that's when he gave him his powers or something. Then they took him right away.
But he had a bunch of good runs. Like but then he had runs where Doc Ock, but it was a good run after with Superior Spider-Man, but we hated it at first, like what he did. So
yeah, I like Superior Spider-Man to an extent, but the whole time I was like, bring back Spider-Man,
Yeah, we
bring
were
back
ready.
Spider. So Superior Spider-Man, that's when Dr. Octopus he changed. He put his mind in Peter Parker's body, so he stole Peter Parker's body.
And it was weird. It was at a weird time because we had just lost a Peter Parker in the 1610 universe, the Ultimate Universe. And then right after we lose him, we lose our main Peter Parker in the 616 universe, which is the main.
So we going down a dark hole
Yeah.
and stuff. So speaking of like money and stuff, as far as like Peter Parker, how he went broke and stuff, does money buy happiness? That's a topic.
I mean, to an extent, I think, like when you look at Kanye West, you see.
I think when you being broke isn't being happy.
Isn't being happy.
But it's a state of mind. You can be broke, you can have nothing, and you can be happy as hell. You can have everything and not be happy. Is what you make of it. But I wouldn't see any money being like a negative. Like I think I think if it can be a negative, like the responsibility to keep what you have, in expectations put on you depending on what are you doing.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't think it's so much money. I think it's more of the status thing. Like I was about to say, with like, you have somebody like Kanye who has a certain status that he wants to stay at, and I think that's what drives him crazy. Where you have somebody like,
and you want to stay the top dog, and but you got Drakes and stuff coming that's kicking your tail and stuff, and it's hard to stay on top. Like everybody can't be Jay-Z and stuff. Like that's a rarity in society.
And that's the thing. And like, Jamie Foxx has a show that comes on YouTube now. It's called Off Script.
Yeah, I watch it.
And he talked to The Rock, and he said, "Man, you're at a stage in your life now where you could tell everybody, man, get these damn cameras away from me." And think, what keeps you so sincere with the people? And he said that no matter what status level I got to in my life, I wanted to maintain who I was with the people because the people brought me here. And so you look at like Kanye, you look at like The Rock, those are two way different situations.
You got to stay grounded and stuff, but I'll tell you, more money, more problems. I'll take me some problems.
Yeah,
like you can, and it depends on how you move also. Like, all right, if you in the hood, if somebody give you $10 million and you stay in the hood, you're gonna have a lot of problems.
Yeah, because everybody,
you can't live the same exact life. Like, you will have to change some things up. But me, I want to change some things up. Like, if somebody give me $10 million, if somebody gave you, well, not 10 million. It's like somebody gave you $1 million. What would you do right now?
$1 million, what would I do? Man, right now, I would get me a house. I buy me a few lots of land, and I probably deal more with real estate, man, because you make money off of the land. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I put the rest in the bank and save up. I know I would move away from here.
I want to look into, because I know a lot of people talk about you can live off the interest and stuff or whatever. I want to see like how much interest $1 million would get.
It would give you somewhere around, let's say I make close to 60 a year, right? Let's say you're probably getting about 120 a year.
Off $1 million?
Off probably the interest, and probably more than that. So just think about it, 120. Shit, you could live off of that, man.
Like what I would do, like I'm gonna do some inward stuff real quick. Like I'm gonna take me a trip. I wanna travel the world. Like I'm not going to Dubai and buy everything in Dubai, but I just wanna like witness like stuff. Like just go and take some trips, or I'll take one big trip and go see some things and go experience a lot of things in life. As far as like business wise, I would like I would move somewhere, try to find some place to move, not try to live luxurious or something, but I would want like a sneaker boutique, like a high end. I like stuff like that, like something that I be into. And speaking of that, I got one more topic, but I'm gonna tie it in. But let me stop this right now because I don't want to lose this podcast. But I'm gonna come back right away. All right, no. Yeah, I was still on my talk. I was talking about like a boutique. Like I don't know about a boutique. Like just a nice sneaker store. Like not just the regular stuff. Like I want the shit that people stand in line for and stuff like upper end brands and like kind of some expensive clothes. I want it to be sprinkled in, but I want to have like a little cheap stuff like. You know, Foot Locker, they got like the shirts for $3 for so and so or whatever,
yeah.
like certain things like that. But I want to have like the nice stuff because that's how our people are.
Yeah.
Like if you got the nicest stuff, if I got, let's say I put out some shoes right now with Nike, and they cost $300, like people, but they only have like I only put out like 1,000 of them. They gonna sell out because people want stuff that's exclusive.
Yeah, that.
But whenever I'm gonna be like, well, okay, they love these shoes. Now I'm gonna make 1 million of them, and I'm gonna sell them for $50. The people, man, they're $50 shoes.
Well,
I don't want that. That's how a lot of people are.
The thing is because they want to be different. Now, if you selling, and then you're watering your product down. There's a reason we don't ever see a $50 pair of Jordans.
Exactly.
You know,
but what I like, but then. That's like, is that my dream? Nah, that wasn't like my dream. That's like, I read this book, The Alchemist, and it's all about your dreams, and it's like a young sheep herder, and he has this dream that he has a vision of treasure, and so he needs to go and seek his treasure, but it's like all of us in life, we have certain dreams that we want. Then it's like, oh, well, you'll never do that. You can't do this, and we forget about our dreams. But he has like a bunch of premonitions, and a lot of people keep him on track on the way to get his dreams. And he's like, man, I want to stop doing this, and they like, no, you need to do this, or you're gonna regret it. He meets a girl, so it's like sometimes you meet somebody and you're like, oh, I'm happy and this and that, and so you might quit your dream and you think you're content right there, but then you might resent them later on because you stopped their dream. So he kept going, and when other people might have stopped, and he meets other people along the way that help him with his dream. If other people stopped their dreaming for certain ways because they were scared or they got content in life. So I'm just saying that just to like, I say I would like this sneaker boutique or something. Was that my dream? Like when I was younger, did I want to have me a sneaker store? Nah, I wanted to go to the NBA. I wanted to be a comic book artist. I wanted to be the best rapper in the world. And like as far as like my young life, like I put in a lot of work in a lot of things. Like I drew. Like all my life I've been drawing. Like basketball, I still go hoop. I ain't about to go to no league or nothing. But like that's something I loved. I always loved basketball, and that was my thing. Like as far as rapping, like did I do everything for my basketball dreams? Did I go to basketball camps and stuff? No. Back in the days, we didn't have basketball camps and stuff around here. My family, we didn't even have a car in at the time, so I couldn't go anywhere if I wanted. So it was hard. I got kicked off the team my senior year. I tried to go walk on to college. They roster was full and so blase. As far as rapping, damn. Let me. We gonna come back for a second. All right, in like my rapping stuff, like I wanted to be the best rapper in the world and this and that, and I'm antisocial. Did I do the necessary steps? Like as far as rapping, if you type in Chance Jolivette mixtapes and shit, you're gonna be there all day long. Like I have like 50, 60 mixtapes online. So like I got thousands of songs that I've did, but did I do the other necessary steps? I know I didn't, because you got to branch out and you got to meet people and you got to spend money to make money and stuff. I ain't had the money to spend you got to buy your way into the game. I ain't did none of that. But that's like one of my dream stuff. What has discouraged me from my dream and stuff, like you see other people like Soulja Boy and Lil Yachty, and you see certain people that I'm pretty sure they put in a lot of work in a certain regards, but like artistically, I feel they haven't put in work like I have, but they put in other steps that were necessary steps that I didn't. So they made it, and so that discouraged me from dreams. And so now I still rap and stuff, but if somebody asks me, is that my dream? In the back of my mind it is, but I'll kind of tell people, nah, man, I just do it for fun now. But that's because I don't want to feel bad about not achieving my dreams and stuff. And like, I think a lot of us do that, and we forget our dreams, or we push them off to the side, or we feel we've ran out of time in certain things. And that's just my experiences. And what are your experiences like as far as your dreams? Do you think you're doing what you wanted to do?
I'm not doing what I want to do, but I'm still chasing that dream. It's weird, man. I didn't know what I wanted to do for the longest until I was about 30. I just realized how much I love TV and movies and things like that. And I always wanted to work behind the scenes in production. So I'm always trying to learn stuff like that. But I mean, it's just as a person, you know, you grow up and your perspective changes, your dreams change, you know, your taste change, your taste in music, your taste in
necessity,
women, clothes, necessity,
shit. If you got bills, it's hard for you to chase certain things. You got bills and stuff. When you younger, they say it's like a young man's game and stuff. Everything is for young people, man. Like when you young, that is when you chase your dreams, man. Chase your dreams early. Don't let nobody stop you. Do everything that you can, and you have a chance. But man, if you wait and you push things off to the side, it makes it harder and harder and harder and harder.
Exactly. It's like I said, I think I said this on a podcast or two ago. Tupac said you don't hear any loudmouth 30-year-old, because at that point you kind of then, you know, ran through the system. You kind of burn out. You beat down now. Yeah. And I don't feel like I'm beat down, but I do realize, like, I went to school, I worked my ass off, made good grades, but couldn't afford it.
And being kind of naive when you're young. When you're young, you see the world ahead of you, like the world is my oyster. Mm-hmm. I can do anything. That's on Beyonce and Jay-Z album. Hell no. Anyway, but you feel you can do anything, and you kind of naive. But you said naive, but some people might that's discouraging. Like you said, telling somebody they naive. Oh, you think you can have the world? You probably can if you believe in it.
Yeah, and some people, you know, like some people set in their ways, like my dad.
And certain people's dreams didn't come true, so they're gonna tell you, nah, don't do this because I made this same mistake or whatever. You need to get this good job here and do that. And you kind of listen to that, and you let people put their expectations and stuff on you. So man, at the end of the day, I would tell you to do what makes you happy, and don't just say like I want to be a football star, but you never lift a weight or anything. Like dreams are hard, but you gotta find what makes you happy. Don't look at somebody else and be like, oh man, he make a lot of money from selling dope. Like that's him. Like find what you want to do and put in 110%, 130% or whatever. Keep and grind hard.
I mean, you get nowhere without struggle and hard work. Wasn't that a rhyme once?
I don't know, but anybody that you see made it.
Yeah.
Like it was, and I haven't made it at all. But like if you check any successful person, look how many no's they got. No. They took that one yes. That one yes and opened the door. And when they got in that door, they did what they had to do. So if you a young person listening and stuff, or if you're an older person listening, man, if you got ideas or something, you never know whenever your shot gonna come.
And exactly. And just because somebody says no, that doesn't mean that you lost. Look at it as an almost win. You got to look at that no and see why they said no.
Change it up. You can adapt,
adjust. Because one thing I learned is when you look at something as an almost win instead of just a loss, like I almost got this, but I botched my interview. Work on your language, your talking points, you know, your dialect, things like that. And the next time you may get that job, you may ace that interview. You know, it's things like that. Because I remember I'm not the best talker in the world. I'm country. I I talk slow sometimes because that's just where I'm from. You know, we're slow talkers. We're slow movers sometimes. But I had to learn to adapt my language to certain jobs and learn how to sound more educated and sound more appeasing to certain people, because when you're going in for a job, the thing they're looking at is your character. So you have to show the type of person you are, the type of work you're gonna put in, and you have to explain that to them, what you're capable of doing. And whenever you explain that, then you show that, and it goes from there.
Yeah, so that's our words of wisdom. So this has been the podcast for this week. Straight Out the Mud, episode 6. Champ. That's what I'm gonna call this one. Because Daniel Cormier was a champ. And he's from Louisiana. He reached his dreams because that wasn't necessarily his dream when he came out. When he was younger, he wanted to be a wrestler. He wanted to win a gold medal. He didn't win his gold medal, but his skills took him from that arena, took him to the avenue of UFC. And he has branched that. He's a wrestling coach. He's the head coach of AKA. He's doing television commentary. He's a 6-time champion.
And like I say, dreams change, you know.
Dreams change, but dreams can come true.
Exactly.
And he started at 30 years old. So it's possible. Just gotta make it happen. That has been us. Holla at your boy. Peace out.